agenda action items. A, minutes December 8th, 2025 and December 22nd, 2025 special meeting. B, bills. C, financial report. D, employment and resignations. Jessica Lynn Arnold, Transportation Department, part-time bus aide. Lori Jean Miller, Hayburn Elementary Special Education Paraprofessional 2. Diana Killane Rude, St. Mary's Middle School Special Education Paraprofessional 1. Updated 2025-2026 winter coaching and volunteer updates. 25 returning substitute teacher and paraprofessionals. And 6 resignation of Brian Chase for the St. Mary's High School golf coach.
Move that as presented.
Second.
We got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Yeah, so with Brian Chase resigning, he's been coaching here for a long time. 15 years he's been a coach for golf, so hopefully everything goes well for him and he can make it back.
Yeah.
All right, presentation agenda, monthly building departments. First we'll have the St. Mary's High School Principal Asbury and the ASB.
Okay, I will get us started here, and I'm going to be pretty brief because I want our amazing young people to have the spotlight tonight. It's about them, and that's why we show up every day. So, my building report, academic achievement, you can see some of our scores there in your board report.
Mm-hmm.
Our interim ISAT, which is kind of the practice version of the test before the real one, sometime at the end of April, 1st of May. Scores pretty much aligned with where we were last year. Not where we want either one of them, but has been practiced the last 4 years. We do have interventions in place that happen in the third quarter, and you can see those scores, at least what's held true in the last 4 years, jump up significantly when they take the test in the spring. And we will administer our STAR benchmark Thursday. College and career readiness. Our CTE building is just about to open. We're going to do some events this spring as a soft open.
I got the pictures. I'll show you what you're talking about.
Oh, it's an amazing facility, and I'm proud of the work that
Like,
we're opening a dog grooming business as well.
That too.
But just so proud of the work Dr. Wrench and I and the rest of our team has put in, and Joe now has a whole nother building he has to worry about fixing and maintaining, so you're welcome, Joe. Students are excited, the parents are excited. We get phone calls almost daily like, hey, can we stop in, look at it, what's going to happen? So we're in the process now of just ordering materials. Most of the auto shop stuff is in, and then we'll start chipping away at the outfitting the forestry side of things this spring. We've added some dual credit offerings. Calculus will be offered this spring for college credit. And we have a partnership in place with NIC to upgrade a lot of our distance learning opportunities for those college students. Safe and healthy inviting place, goal 3, our champion program, in which I explained to start the year, every student, about 9 students per adult at the high school. They're matched up with every adult in the building, and every adult is to check on every student sporadically, not just to do a deep dive, but hey, how you doing today? What's going on? How can I help? I'm here for you. And that's going well. I did kind of an impromptu survey with them, and the numbers there reflect that hopefully this program is doing what it was intended to do. We saw that Cognia survey last year, and I didn't like the numbers that came back, and so we took action. And that's what the students had reported out just before Christmas.
those are great results. Compared
Yeah,
to
I
in the last
was nervous, but I wanted the real
Mhm.
results. Hit me with reality, and I was impressed with what we came back with. So looking forward to comparing that with our spring survey, make sure that holds true. Lastly, kind of the communication with the community and you guys, the board, and those in attendance, I'm going to let our fine young adults at St. Mary's High School talk to you. Tonight, our yearbook staff is here, our ASB and leadership. We're kind of doing double duty because we have a ball game tonight and practices, so some will cross over. So first, Heidi, come on in, Heidi, and introduce yourself. She'll be talking to us about the yearbook. Oh, both of you. Both go now. So this is one of our double dippers. Go ahead and introduce yourself, girls.
Hello,
You could tip it down.
There you go.
You can tip it down, and this won't broadcast here. It's just for our listeners at home.
Oh,
They all hear you.
okay. Hello, my name is Heidi Morgan. I am a senior at high school, and I'm here to talk about the yearbook. Yearbook is a peaceful class. There is always a feeling of relaxation in the classroom. We are never short on time. If anything, we have too much of it. But that doesn't mean we can do whatever we wish. To keep this class peaceful, we all need to do our part. With a class like yearbook, part of doing our part is patience, as we often have to wait for certain seasons or days for certain parts of the yearbook. So yearbook class is like a soothing melody compared to other classes at times. Breath of fresh air. The theme we picked up for the yearbook is stick together. The theme means that all of the yearbook pages will be full of stickers. The stickers will have a watercolor background, and all in all will be very colorful. Each of the students were personally involved making stickers for the yearbook, though sadly some of them might not be used. In the end, I think you may have made too many, but they will all have their place on the list. Overall, the yearbook is coming together, all the right pieces sticking together.
My name is Kendra. I am the ASB secretary at our school. I'm also part of the yearbook class. So we chose our theme, Sticking Together, because our senior class has gone through some hardships all 4 years of the high school. And so sticking together was one thing that we were like, okay, it's like a heart thing. And all we have each other's back, even though we might be at each other's throats sometimes, but that's okay. Yearbook is really a peaceful class. It does get your mind going. It is a digital thing that you do, so you have to really use your mind to be able to pick out the pieces that you need to make the pages.
Tell us where you're at right now, kind of in the process. Where are we?
So we have all the layout right now. We're getting finalizing some of the pages. We're getting all the winter sports going. We have our spring sports that will be up and going as well. It's kind of hard to say just because it's kind of we're throwing it together and then finalizing what pages we have then and there.
Have you gotten to the point where you're starting to write captions?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's quite a bit of writing in language arts, I'm just gonna
it is.
say.
Yeah,
and
it gets.
the punctuation and editing, yeah.
Yep. For sure.
Sophisticated and tedious. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Any
Yeah, thank you.
questions from
Yep.
the board?
That's a good job, ladies. I did yearbook when I was younger. Do you guys, and I loved it, but it was hard. Do you guys have different pages that you guys were kind of assigned to? Or are you guys all working together for all of the pages?
So yeah, our teacher, he assigns us different pages and we do that page, but then we have overall editors, so those editors will go through the pages and see what we can fix and if our wording is messed up and like what punctuation we need to add and fix and stuff. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thankfully, our yearbook teacher is married to an English teacher, so
Yeah.
that will help
Yep.
with overall grammar and editing.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks,
Thank
girls.
you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Good job.
So go ahead and introduce yourself and
All
you
right.
are representing which group?
My name is Cassia Ensign, and I am St. Mary's High School's ASB president. And we're just going to summarize some of the things and events that we went over this last fall. So to start off the year, we had our homecoming, and our theme was Wizard of Oz, which is where we got There's No Place Like Homecoming. Student body was able to participate in class competitions, dress-up days. We had a movie night, and we had our homecoming dance to summarize the week. And then continuing on, we had Red Ribbon Week, where the high school participated in door decorating competitions, dress-up days, and an assembly that was held later in November. This assembly was the Choices Matter program, and the guest speaker was Fletcher Cleve, and we have pictures displayed back there. And he gave a personal account from his life and lessons that he learned by not quitting and always looking towards new goals that were easily applied to our staff and student body. And as a student personally, I found the assembly actually really inspiring. Most students, they're like, oh, we don't want to go to this assembly, but I could feel that impact with not only myself, but all the students.
What was he overcoming in his message?
He was just so in his assembly, he talked about his issue resulting from a car crash that he survived, and he's disabled from the waist down, and he just talked about all the adventures and how he keeps pushing on through life no matter his condition, which was truly just inspiring to witness face to face. And the message that he displayed was very clear, and that all of our decisions have a ripple effect, good or bad, and that the action is not just on ourselves but those around us. Distracted driving was the main topic, covering phone usage while driving, and then driving under the influence, driving while tired or distracted, or mentally disorientated. And then students were also able to participate in program-led activities after the assembly, which we have pictures displayed back there of them trying the impaired goggles and trying to write their first name and last name with both their right hand and their left hand at the same time, which was fun to just experiment with.
Okay, so afterwards, later through school, they had the Veterans Day. So local veterans came and visited the high school to retire our flag, and they raised a new one. Some staff and students came and watched this. We have a photo up there of them. And then before they came and visited, our ASB made a banner and some homemade goodies for them to bring back. And then the food drive, we had a food drive. We participated with the St. Mary's Fire Department. That was leading into Thanksgiving break. The high school contributed over 700 pounds of food and raised $233 from a 50-50 raffle at our home game that we had.
Any questions regarding what we just went over?
What do you got coming up next?
Not too sure, because the last thing that we were focusing on was the week before winter break, but that unfortunately got cut super short. I'm not too sure. We just have senior nights that we're just looking forward to, and holding little fundraisers like Shoot for the Loot during basketball games and whatnot. I don't believe we have our sights on any big events quite yet.
Don't you guys usually do a rivalry game, Brawl for the Ball thing? Is that coming up?
Yeah, that was minorly discussed. It's just due to some factors that we just weren't able to put it out this year, unfortunately. But any more questions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So being in the ASB and being school leadership, I got two questions for you. First, what have you personally learned being in a leadership role within the school?
Being in a leadership role, during assemblies, we have to talk in front of the entire school a lot, and we do daily announcements, and just learning how to just publicly display myself as a leader has definitely helped impact me and just my own personal development through being in leadership. And I've been in leadership all since 8th grade, so just the years of experience has also helped me through this journey.
So what would you say has been one of your personal biggest accomplishments in this time period that you've been in school leadership?
I'd say one of my personal biggest accomplishments, or just ASBs in general, was getting student body involved just in all these events that we just went over, because years prior we kind of struggled getting a lot of students to get involved and just have fun with school, because we want school to be a welcoming and an exciting place to be at, and not just, oh, the class is this and then just the repetitive cycle. But like, we want to add extra fun events to make students feel enjoyed or enjoy themselves there. So just getting students involved, and that's my biggest accomplishment for ASBs.
Are you both seniors?
Yes, ma'am.
I got it.
Yeah, that's good, getting people
And then
involved, because
we'll
that's,
see.
that's an issue that we struggle with nowadays.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
not being involved even
Yeah.
as adults, so, yeah, definitely keep that
Yeah.
up.
During
That's-
our homecoming year, we were able to witness the freshman class getting a lot more involved, which was a huge difference because our sophomore class never really got involved until I'd say this year. But then the freshmen came in, and so the rivalry between class competitions, they were having to up their game a little bit, you know. So
It's good.
Yeah, they got a strong
Mhm.
middle school ASB, so it's good.
Mhm.
You're seeing that 6-12.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, being seniors, and what as for the lower classmen or incoming freshmen even, what's some words of wisdom you would impart?
Just getting involved and being involved with the school, because I feel like it's so much easier when you're involved with the school because you're like working with the school and not like necessarily working against it, because I feel like that's a mindset that a lot of students have or could potentially have. But just getting involved has helped school be more enjoyable for me personally. But that would be my words of advice. Would yours be?
I would also say getting involved. Honestly, it's got me out of my
Mhm.
shell a lot, and so I probably wouldn't be standing up here right now
Mhm.
if I wouldn't have gotten involved.
Yeah.
So
And given if I wasn't as involved with the school, I probably wouldn't be half as involved in my community as I am as well. So, which is a good life skill to have.
Good.
Well, we have time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Times have changed. Right.
Okay, come on in, gentlemen. Lastly, we have Jack and Brock Barta to speak to us regarding dual credit opportunities and some other opportunities for seniors as they leave us.
All right, so my name is Jack Barta. I am the ASB treasurer, and my name is Brock Barta. I'm the senior class president. And we're both in various dual credit classes through NIC. We're both in an English 102, a calculus class we'll be taking next semester, and then we'll be taking a dual ethics class as well. What's great about these is that helps us not only just save money, but also get into a good head start on our careers. So we both plan to hop into a field of engineering, so knocking out those prerequisite classes really saves us time and money.
Yeah, and speaking of money, like, I think dual credit is a great opportunity for kids to save money, especially those going into college. I think like the number is about $4,000 per student that the state will cover, and that's just substantial. Doesn't matter the college you're going to. That sort of money that makes all the difference in going into college from high school.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, because you're staying with your parents right now versus having to live at the school and eat there and do all that extra expense, and you guys are getting it right here at home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's probably 3 times that amount that you would pay or more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So specifically, what kind of engineering are you guys looking at going into?
I'm not very sure yet.
Undecided as of now.
Yeah.
If you were leaning one way or another, what has your interest?
So like mechanical in a way, like biomechanical more specifically, like prosthetics and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe electrical engineering.
Oh, yeah, you could design substations and things like that, or, computers and things. We work with engineers doing power line work quite often, and they don't even care what their degree is in engineering, just as long as they have an engineering degree, and they'll stick them in whatever, construction or electrical or, different things. Just that degree is important.
Awesome.
So I'll ask you guys kind of the leadership question as well, since you're both student body. Like, what's something that you're going to take into the future now that you've been in this role, in this leadership role? What's something you're taking away from it that you could potentially give back later on?
So taking the leadership role, I mean, really wherever you go in life, you're going to have to deal with people. So people skills, and not only that, but leadership skills as well, I think are very helpful for me, at least. If I learn about how to deal with people in the right way and how to lead them now, it'll be a lot easier in the future.
And sort of the same thing. I'd say like kind of being an extrovert in a way and like getting to know people and their interests. I feel like that makes a whole world of difference, you know. And just being nice to people and all, that's great.
Good. All right, thanks, fellas.
Thank you
Of
guys.
course, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Is that it for students? Do we want to get a picture with them?
Yeah, guys,
We have
if
left,
you're
yeah.
all still here, the board likes to take a picture before you peace out. So if you want to line up and peace out up front. No, she's here to support. She's going to get in the photo.
Move on in.
If you can squeeze, we'll stand on our tippy toes.
Perfect.
We in there?
You might have to slide down a little bit. Oh, yeah, there's a panorama.
One, two. Thank you. Very
Thank you
nice.
guys. Thank you.
Yeah, in a moment.
Thanks for coming in.
The lumberjacks.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good job.
The engineering practice.
Appreciate you guys. Gals. Thank you. Thank you. See you in the morning. Sorry, in the morning.
Good job.
Principal Asbury still be at school on time.
I told him I kept him too late. I'll give him one target. Any other questions for St. Mary's High School?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming and checking out the CTE building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to stop
Oh,
by.
and senior projects are coming up right as we leave for spring break, so I'll be in touch to get you guys on a panel if you so choose to come in and watch our seniors present. before they-
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thanks for coming in. All right. B, written monthly building reports.
So the rest of the schools and departments have a written report. I'll just call out a few highlights. For Hayburn, I just want to acknowledge their PTO, which is a mix of parents but also teachers. So for Goal 4, they've just done an incredible amount of outreach, and you've probably seen a lot of the events through their Facebook page. And this is just a few from their monthly birthday books, Donuts with Grown-ups, and Donkey basketball coming up. And feel free to attend or participate in their talent show.
I heard about the donkey
The
basketball.
teachers usually bust a move during
Yeah, I
intermission.
think I got.
And then for the middle school, collaboration
Yeah.
has been pretty fundamental focus for our school district, really. And so they've really embraced different collaborative teams, academic, intervention, behavior, attendance, and even I participated in their collaboration today. So they're making some huge strides by working together and knowing that the answer is within themselves. Just want to give them a big shout out. And then Upriver, again, if you've followed their Facebook page, sometimes you don't think about college and career readiness at the elementary level, but they've really embraced Goal 3 and have added a special focus and done a lot of implementation in terms of bringing local industry speakers into their school for either information about a position or a job or career, but also some hands-on experiences as well. That's my shout-outs for the schools.
Yeah, you gotta get the kids interested in what we have, you know,
Yeah.
before they get too old to think about what they could get into. No, I don't think they're too old, but yeah, it's good to get them involved when they're young and show them what's out there in our area.
Want to say anything else on that, TJ? You know more. I just gave a
Well,
brush.
I know the
of
newspaper did a
information.
really nice article on us, and I
That's
said
true.
unfortunately Mrs. Stoll's name wasn't mentioned because she's the one who's setting aside time to get them in and maybe having to hold back some instruction or even speed it up when you have these unexpected visitors, and then, yes, we had a super interesting person in Pete Durlum here the other day, and then also
Yep,
someone
saw
from
that.
Guam who's traveled to over 50 countries, spoke a little foreign language, also talked about some of the various careers he has had, including military, and how that would pay for college too.
For food service, I know we highlighted maintenance last month. And food service, they had a health inspection, got a clean bill of health. Our special ed team is working really hard with our general ed staff and just cruising around to the different school sites, particularly on these Mondays, and just providing some real relevant training, giving some background information on why kids might have different challenging behaviors, and then some real tools on how to address that while also continuing with grade level learning. Transportation's done an amazing job, particularly right before vacation with some of the inclement weather, and those drivers and mechanics work hard to have their buses ready and take our kids to and from school safely, so we give them a big shout out. And Danette, who's her own little department, so next month we're gonna bring the secretaries, and Danette, we've transitioned from last year we transitioned to a new program with our school student management, and this year it's been our finance transition, rolled over to a new platform, if you will. And I mean, Danette, on top of all her other regular job responsibilities, has so smoothly learned that new platform, rolled everything over that needed to be rolled over, and it doesn't always succinctly roll over like they tell you it's going to. Working out the kinks, rebuilding some reports for us, that's probably the long term to use, training our staff, particularly the secretaries and our principals, and then just being there at our beck and call to lessen the learning curve, if you will, and make it a smooth transition. So we're going to give a big shout out to the secretaries, and a particular highlight to Danette Cordell, our business manager. Working long
Is it called?
End of reports.
What's it called?
All right.
Still skyward.
Mm-hmm.
You can relate.
Anybody have any questions? All right. Idaho School Board Association activities. So in February 16th and 17th this year, we have Day on the Hill down in Boise, where we meet with the representatives and figure out more about funding and how it's paid and all the interesting stuff that they do down in Boise.
There's a lot of upcoming legislation, new laws are talked about there at the Education and Senate committees.
Yep. I plan on going down there to that. It's interesting. Kind of see what the government does. All right. Board Development Workshop.
This is just a possibility if you want to have a discussion with the board, often annually at least. New board, new team. We could set up a board workshop that typically talks about roles and responsibilities, open law meeting, other pertinent information that would be unique to St. Mary's and our board and our board superintendent team. So we usually put on there annually to just kind of check in and let people discuss if we want to set that up.
Is there I'm trying to remember, it's been a while, is there an annual like literacy training the board's supposed to do or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's something we'll get an
It'd be
email for
typically
it.
virtual.
And there'll be like a webinar, I think, what I did
Okay.
last year.
That makes sense. I don't know if we can pull it into this or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be one of the topics we would want to do. I think if we have anything we want to learn about, I think ISBA can come down and do the classes. Was that Jason that did them?
Jason and Bill. I think they got another guy in there too now. And they got people all over the state of Idaho that they don't have to come from Boise. They got some in Coeur d'Alene and probably Moscow, Lewiston. It was a save the guy having to,
Travel.
you know.
Brett?
Okay.
There is a workshop too that they're offering at the Day on the Hill. If I look you down there, they have a traditional thing, they have an option to take it.
The literacy one?
Mhm.
So it's in person versus
4:45,
webinar.
5:45 workshop continues to everybody.
I see it, yep.
So that'll count for
That
our,
would count for your annual.
our literacy training for the year,
And you can take it there if you want to.
right? Yeah, probably should take advantage of that.
I'll do it online again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this one just because it's tax season. So it's
Fun.
a really bad time to ask for time off.
So for the, and understanding that, so I think that's why there's also the board development workshop options where trainers will come to us and customize it on whatever seminars would want.
Yeah, do they have
We
a
can-
list of topics maybe
Mhm.
that we could
Yeah.
look at on their website or something?
Yeah, they have a list of topics and then we can tailor it as well, so I could grab that information and then send it out in the Friday board letter for starters. How
Okay.
does that sound?
Good.
We could put it back on February's agenda too. Okay.
I think it'd be nice to have Jason come. I mean, it's been almost
Been
2
a
years.
while.
Have him come back and,
I think he's still doing it.
yeah.
I know he was, transitioning a few different things there, but we can chat with him,
Okay.
see if he's up for it.
Right.
Unless you'd rather have Phil.
Either way.
I think Jason.
I like Jason. He was just
Ja-
personable,
Jason- yeah, but
and we
Jason's
had a lot of
little
good
bit more-
conversations.
Yeah, more one-on-one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Structural firefighter guy though.
Well, you can't always be perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, E, open forum. Do we have any visitors? Uh, 4-day and Ted Tucker. You're first. Two people on 4-day school week, but yeah, you could go first, Ted.
Pete.
Pete Durham.
Hi, I'm Ted Tucker, resident here, St. Mary's.
Okay, we'll give you 5 minutes on this.
Okay, I'll probably be brief. Of course, this is dealing with the 4-day. I realize it's in its infancy with the board and the community. So a lot of these questions and statements will be perhaps redundant when Dr. Rentz gives her assessments on this. I don't know, some of my concerns are the staffing, how they would be affected. If you're cutting away 20% of the hours for ancillary staff, is that going to, how is that going to affect their pay and their benefits? Would that be a savings to the school? Perhaps at a detriment to the community with those lost wages and benefits. The students, the children, some of these kids come in. I'm just going to hit on a few items because it just goes on and on and on. The questions that can be presented and the research that's going to be necessary to follow this through in one way or another. But you got things like the kids, if you have a family and that's receiving food benefits, the kids come to school and they're getting 5 days of meals, you know, each time, and if that's the only source or a primary source of their nutrition, they're going to lose that 5th day. Is that a good thing? I mean, like I say, I've just got questions really. That's one example. it's been mentioned that in switching up, a lot of school districts are already doing this. I'd be curious to know what they find advantageous and not so with their results in this. I would go at this with an objective of how it's going to benefit everybody, the students, the community, the staff, and balance that and see, who's going to benefit and who's not. And at the end of the day, it needs to benefit the students, whether it's their nutrition or the time in the seats with education. That's the bottom line there. I look forward to hearing from the board and Dr. Wrench on what your assessments are, and I'd like to know the reasoning of the change, or the thought, or entertaining the change of a 4-day to a 4-day. That being said, I look forward to more discussion. I would like to request that if the board wants to continue with the assessments for a 4-day school week, that there be at a regular scheduled meeting a open forum to where patrons can communicate and receive information back and forth with the school board and Dr. Wrench. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Thank you. Pete?
Are you going, Jennifer? Are you speaking?
She's further down on the agenda.
Well, before I begin, I'd like to just say that the graduating class, one of who is still sitting over here, is a tremendous graduating high school class this year. I had the pleasure of starting to work with them in 3rd grade, and I've got to know a lot of them. And they all benefited from a 5-day school week, and that's why I'm here, because I am vehemently opposed to a 4-day school week. We all benefited from a 5-day school week. Taking away that 1 day, the continuity, especially at the lower levels, K1 and 2, erodes. In my opinion, 1st grade is the most important grade in K through 12. All your basics are there, and taking away a day from that, picking up on a Monday where you left off on a Thursday, can be very, very difficult. If you have to add hours to the day to make up for the 4-day school week, then you're going into an extended day. Now, Tana, can you imagine teaching 22 2nd graders or 1st graders at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and keeping their attention and motivating them? No. Very, very difficult, in my opinion. Very difficult, an extended day. Most of your productivity, being a teacher, and a lot of you can relate to this, is in those morning hours of the day, where you get your reading, your math, and a lot of that stuff done. Even today, and I've been in the school here for the last 12 years, volunteering in Hebron, so I know what's going on. We lost a lot with COVID. We're still catching up from that, believe it or not, in my opinion. We're still catching up. We're not quite there yet. So taking away a day in the week, I don't see any advantages in that. I don't see any advantages, maybe a little bit in money. I don't even see that. To me, it's extremely important. We have a new facility at the high school that should be used 5 days a week. That's what it's there for. We are there to teach the kids 5 days a week. I've alluded to this before in presentations. I was opposed to the full week off of Thanksgiving, because in a couple of weeks they get off for Christmas again. But that's a different scenario. 5 days, kids should be in school, families should be in the seats so they can be taught. Continuity, important, very important. We need a 5-day school week. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. All right, patrons, we have Jennifer Darnold.
My name is Jenny Darnold.
Yep,
Thanks
got
for
it.
Oh.
5 minutes.
Do I need to wait? Sorry. Sorry, Tana. Thanks for allowing me to speak tonight. I just want to give a little background for context so that the question I ask in a little bit will make some sense. It was brought to my attention at the end of October that our school district is on a non-compliance list regarding the House Bill 352, which focuses on parental rights in education concerning the classroom instruction of sexual orientation and gender identity in public schools. House Bill 352 was passed in April and went into effect on July 1st of 2025. So this gave the district 3 months to adopt a policy and become compliant before the school year began. House Bill 352, Section 5 states the following. A public school shall be required to adopt procedures and policies that prohibit classroom instruction by public school personnel on sexual orientation or gender identity from kindergarten through grade 12 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. So after using the search tool in Assembly and having a Zoom meeting with Joel Fisher, who's the policy director, and Grace Howitt, who's the policy analyst at Idaho Family Policy Center, it seems that the district is non-compliant. The policy closest to helping the district to comply that I found is 2320, Health Enhancement Education. This district policy states that instruction will be appropriate to the grade level and course of study. However, it leaves out any mention of the prohibition of classroom instruction by school personnel on sexual orientation or gender identity. So my question to the board and the superintendent is this. With the large push that has been made to update all of the district's policies, why has the district chosen to be non-compliant with this policy? Being non-compliant with this bill could potentially cause the district to lose federal funding, including the Title I funds, according to the executive order that was signed last January, Executive Order 14190. And I don't believe that our district can afford to lose those funds. It's no secret that I'm not a fan of the ISBA. However, I was told that ISBA does have a policy for this, so theoretically we could get a hold of that, amend it for the district, and then adopt it. So the district has no policy that I or the Idaho Family Policy Center could find. If we missed it, please tell me which policy it is. I'd love to read it. If we didn't miss it and the district truly doesn't have the policy legally required, when can we expect that the policy will be written and adopted, ensuring that parental rights will be protected as the law dictates? Thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay, G, 4-day school week, continued discussion.
Are you passing out documents or do they have them? The input in my summary page?
They are uploaded, yes.
Okay.
I
No, that's fine. So I'm just gonna, I made a summary sheet for everybody that takes the 320 some pieces of input that we have so far from parents and community and staff, and just, I surmised it. You can read all of the comments at some point. You can ask questions, and I'll just kind of give a summary of what's come forth in that input so far. Again, over 325 that came from parents and community, plus we have staff. So 76% so far say they're in favor. Now, I surmised what's being repeated in terms of why they're in favor or why they see a 4-day being beneficial. And most people seem to say time to decompress, time to decompress, time to be decompress, time to be with family, time to be with family, time to be with family, and or make appointments like doctor's appointments. That's what came through the most in terms of benefits. Those in favor of a 5-day, that was about 25%, was between parents and community of the 325 so far that have responded. So those in favor, resounding what came through there was the consistency of being in school 5 days, the pace of being in school 5 days with that length of day versus extended day. The structure and stability, again, of being in school for 5 days for education and food. What else can I share? I can share that there's 76 out of 115 public schools that are on a 4-day school week in Idaho. What else can I share? Staffing. So certificated and administration staff stays the same because you're taking almost the same amount of instructional minutes and adding it into a 4-day week. In terms of classified, there's most classified would go from 35 to 32 hours. Custodial staff would stay the same. Secretarial staff would stay the same. Your classified that work in the school could keep their same hours by joining us on a Friday in our staff meetings. There was about 4, I should say, the other classified staff in the transportation like the idea of reduced hours. So far, there's about 4 or 5 classified staff that we would want to check in with one-on-one, that their hours would drop and it would impact their benefits. And what other school districts would do, and I would imagine what St. Mary's would do, is figure out how to keep their hours and benefits. So other school districts, certificate and admin stayed the same, and classified staff were held harmless in some way, shape, or form. Since most of our budget is staffing and benefits, from all the other school districts that I've researched and had a chance to talk to, there was very little savings. There was very little savings.
In personnel costs. Just
In your
general.
budget in general, very little savings. Is there more research to do? Yes.
Right. So I got something for that. So I think it was Bonner's Ferry. I was talking to them, and they were saying that they have one of their schools open on Friday.
Westbury does not. So far, the only school that I have found
Yeah, I thought it was
was Beale.
West Bonner. That's pretty sure, isn't it? I want to say that it's the trustee that. Oh, she does a lot of talking. I've seen her.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Is it Priest River?
It's my.
Okay, because I've seen her coaching Bonner's Ferry track before, but maybe. Yeah. Okay.
I'll double check, and that's another. So, I'm going to jump forward really fast, and then I'm going to jump back. Staff is about 50-50, and again, the half of the staff that like it, say, family time, time to rest, time to do lesson plans, time to collaborate, and the other half have the similar concerns of the lack of stability in 5-day for education and structure and pace and food, and the length of the day especially for the littles. So if I back up, my recommendation is to wait at least a year if we were going to pursue a 4-day school week. I would say let's wait till at least 2027. My reasoning for that is we have a levy next year. Our budget has some uncertainty in terms of federal funds, the collapse of the Department of Education, and some holdbacks for Idaho budget in terms of funding education. So there's just some uncertainties with budget in general that are coming up this spring that we want to be able to pay attention to and focus on. And to Ted's point, I think there's more research to do, and there's logistics to figure out with food service, with transportation, with our bell schedules, and there's more input to gather from parents, staff, and community. So that's my recommendation. That's the summary of the input. You have access to all the input. Yes, roughly it would be 45 minutes more for elementary, and roughly be an hour more for secondary, so that they're keeping, and for the most part, they're keeping their same instructional minutes. question,
So-
you guys can talk.
Fiscally, I mean, the legislative session just started.
Yeah.
I know what we're anticipating as far as a 3% reduction out of general fund, and is that holding true for education as well?
That, so, one, there's talk of, losing a lot of our federal funds, so Title 1, 2, 3, and 4. We get Title 1, 2, and 4. So there's talk of all the titles going away except Title 1, and there's talk of that being reduced. Then in our world of holdbacks, they're talking 3 to 4%. They say not this year, but for next school year. And you can chime in this
At
one.
the general, the governor talked today, and then,
Yeah.
last Wednesday, David Critchfield talked to IASBO, and it looks like what they're recommending is
Mhm.
just no new monies. They'll recognize they're not gonna increase pay, they're not gonna increase anything. They will recognize, movement on the salary schedule for supervised, but no new monies. And that's, so they're gonna be dipping into some other areas that they have to help cover that. But, they didn't say anything about holdbacks or reductions, but that doesn't mean, the finance commission will decide on that, but it's not recommended at this time. With the governor or Debbie Richfield, so we'll see.
Okay.
I think we have it in our back pockets to handle it when we'll go through the budget.
Okay. So you mentioned Title 1. So
That's our biggest
yeah,
item.
I haven't had a chance to read through this. But this is something, the parental rights and limiting, or not allowing, but limiting the gender education, the critical race theory, that's all stuff that we did not want to have happen.
Correct.
But now the federal government is basically saying you either do this or we're gonna pull your funds.
There is talk
If I'm understanding
that they would,
correctly.
that they would pull some
I don't know. It
state
was-
funding.
I couldn't, sorry, can I speak?
Yeah. Sure.
I couldn't determine 100% one way or the other.
Mhm.
Part of what I read said, yes, absolutely, these funds will be pulled if you don't do this. And then part of what I read said that it's still in the works, that potentially it will be, happening to pull the funds if you don't do this.
Right.
Um,
And
State funding.
we
but
just have to
then
reword
there's the-
one of our
the-
policies.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I'll
just needs to
speak
be
to it.
added into the policy
Okay.
Yeah.
that says we're not going to allow this part to happen in any instruction.
I'll be able to speak to it most of the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think waiting or holding off until 2027 is probably a good plan, because you don't wanna rush this.
No. Like-
It is about the students, and that's why we're here.
And there's some big changes, and so you want time to gather all the right information and input, and then time for food service, transportation, the principals and the bell schedules, just to anticipate and have a plan for a lot of those
Right.
changes, so that, we know there'll be some hiccups, but you want the transition to be as smooth as possible, so yes,
Yeah.
at least for
Wow.
2027.
Harder, Mike.
I'm intrigued by the 75% that came back as yes, and I'm listening and looking at the comments and trying to, give weight to everything. I'm just super old fashioned and I'm still on the 5-day side. I think the concern for me is too, we have such a small community and we don't have a youth center. There's nowhere for these kids to go on a Friday, and so that's kind of my hesitation. If we were in a bigger metropolis area like Coeur d'Alene, we could have a boys and girls club. And then I almost feel like the question arises to me, is it redundant than having a building open on a Friday to accommodate the kiddos? Because it's almost like we're doing the same thing.
Right.
I'm concerned with maybe if attendance, if that's actually gonna improve, if the budget's a wash. To me, I'm kind of on the not in favor side, but I'm intrigued.
Some of the people
I don't know.
that preferred a 5-day did mention supervision, and I kind of tacked that under stability and pace and structure. And then one other question I didn't get an answer yet was, what did the other schools see as a benefit? the academics, when you look at 5-day and compare 4-day, you can't see anything dramatically different academically. You saw slight improvement in attendance, other school districts have shared. You saw slight improvement in behavior, other districts shared. Some said no, some said yes. What I've heard consistently of the one benefit of going from a 5-day to a 4-day from other school districts has been teacher morale and retention. That's what I've heard.
Those are two pretty big things.
So, but you were going to speak, Alan.
Well, I was wondering, you said 75% were in favor of, what was the amount of people that were asked?
So far, 325 have responded.
Okay, and are those parents of students?
It's a mix of parents and community.
Community,
Yeah,
okay.
and then on top of that, then we have staff. So that's parents and community so far.
Do we have the ability to ask each of the parents?
We do. So, yeah.
Them that's mainly impacting.
Sure. So yeah, so part of the reason I would want to extend till at least 2027 is to have time to continue to send out surveys, but find other platforms like Ted had mentioned with open forums where we can gather as much information from as many parents as possible.
Yeah, it's a very big change.
Yeah, exactly. It is a big change.
Because you could almost, to that point, like you could host a town hall and maybe not have a quorum present. And
Just
you
like
could
what we
if you
did.
wanted to do a couple town halls, have a couple board members at one.
Particularly for community members, and then I think we have the relationships tapping into each school and the principal and the staff to get the parent input. For sure, that's an important piece.
Yeah.
They will be the main ones.
Gathering
Staff
info.
and students, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, superintendent report.
Can we switch gears really fast? So, Principal Asbury spoke to the CT shop, and I was just gonna add, as it comes close to completion, we're gathering the equipment. Also, the high school's is working on tapping into some instructors. Like we have a few instructors right now that have auto mechanic background and forestry background, along with tapping into some of our guest speakers from the local industries right here in town, to be able to run different experiments in the field of auto mechanics and forestry. That gives our kids a chance, well, we get to learn a skill, but we also get a chance to practice and experiment with the equipment and the flow of the shop. So we're planning on that and being able to pull some kids from high school and middle school for the second semester. And then have the shop up and running with the 2 pathways next fall. It's a beautiful building. This is our first week back to school. There were so many pictures I could capture. The e-newsletter has more. Our website and each school Facebook has a lot more pictures, but it was fun to have the buzz of the building as the staff and students return this week. I've been able to have a chance to do more formal class visits with each principal, where we just really focused on, well, here. Oh, that's fun. More kids coming. We gotta observe teaching and learning in real time. So we talk about different instructional practices that will have a high impact that are evidence proven. These aren't only, but these are some we've focused in on as a school district. So it was really neat to be with the principals, to go through the different classrooms and be able to observe some of these high impact instructional practices and talk to the kids and see in real time that they're practicing and understanding their grade level concepts and skills. And that's what we want. Then in February, like Principal Asbury said, the kids are in the middle or missed right now their midterm, I call them benchmark tests. halfway through the school year. So we'll start gathering and aggregating that data, and we'll look at it with staff, with principals, and we'll be able to present our student results on a quantitative level here in February. So we'll have a chance to look back at our goals, and then see how our kids are progressing and achieving to each of those 4 goals. And that's an evaluation of us on how well we're teaching and leading, how well our programs are working, based on the number and percent of students that are growing and achieving our goals and ultimately our vision. So we're watching it in real time, super fun, and we'll have some hard data for you next month. And that's our job. That's what we use some of those Mondays for, is to look at those different data points and evaluate how well we're doing based on how well our kids are doing. And those are the 4 goals. And then we have targets that we want our students to reach. Ultimately, we want to see 100% of our kids be at grade level and above. And then by the time they walk across the stage, they've got the skills, confidence to be productive, successful citizens. That's why we're here. What else do I have for you? Switch gears a little bit. There's just a couple upcoming important dates. Semester's ending here in the middle of January, so we have our Teacher in-Service Day, which is a day of learning for us around just what we talked about. We look at different student data results, we look at different instruction, we collaborate together and make those plans that continue to mitigate behavior, support citizenship, have the kids feel connected and enjoy school, and also work on their academic achievement. We do have school on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and January 26th is tentatively our next special board meeting on policy review. We're trying to meet on the 4th Monday of the month. So what we have right now is to look at some of our 700 series on business procedures.
7,000.
What's that?
7,000.
7,000. Did I say 700? 7,000 series on business procedures. And we'll have an opportunity. So we do have 2320, which is our closest to the H Bill 352. It does outline what we are supposed to teach in sex education, and looking at the other school districts that are in compliance, they also have 2320, but they've added some language. So we can reopen that as early as January 26th, and we can add that language that says specifically what we are going to teach in our classroom instruction, and list what we're not going to teach, which would be the gender identity and the sexual orientation.
Right.
So that adds that clarity, that adds that certainty. It makes us more in compliance, if you will, and it builds that trust. So we'll be able to fix and adjust that on that date. And then the policy will match our practice, because right now there's no instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity. So we'll have a policy that matches our practice. And we'll have more clarity and added language to that current policy. That will put us in compliance. Monthly communication, last Wednesday in the Gazette, in the back you can find the monthly district corner. And also the monthly superintendent e-newsletter goes out at the start of each month, and you can find that on the district website, the Facebook page, or we send out a Skylar email to all of our parents. And I shared a little bit with staff. Well, I wrote in the message just that this is the time of year where Christmas offers hope, and the New Year offers that time to reflect, and it also offers resolution. So me as a superintendent, and working with our staff and the school board, parents and kids, our resolution is just to continue to work and lead and make decisions and interact in a way that we're doing right by our kids, and that means in a way that our kids continue to reach our goals that we set for them. Continue to feel connected, continue to feel joy, to have all the grade level and beyond skills so that 100% of our kiddos reach that vision the time they need us. You can read more about that in my e-newsletter. We also have, this is part of our strategic plan, some of our values that encompass a lot of our standards, procedures, expectations, code of ethics. And again, we use those when we're making decisions and interacting and how we work with a plan to ensure we're leading and teaching and governing in a way that all of our kids meet that vision. End of report.
All right, thank you. All right, back to board requests to administration. Do we have anything that we'd like superintendent to work on? Look into anymore? Put in some more hours?
Yeah. Well, definitely getting the list of the board development workshops and bringing that
Yep.
back and see if Jason Knob's available. And continuing to get research and information on the 4-day school week. Striving to get all of our parents' input.
Sounds good.
Not hearing anything else, I would just put out, closing out last year, just commend you on you and the team, the staff of the school district on the job that you're doing and that they're doing and the leadership that you get the opportunity to provide them. The transparency and the communication that we have with you and the group has been great. And as we discussed earlier, I think that these are great guides and they align well with the strategic plan that was developed. And the only feedback, I think a review of just where the strategic plan is, how we feel it's going, and looking to the future. That's all I have. Thanks.
Those are the markers. I said I would show those. Those are the markers used to evaluate me.
Yep.
I'm doing a pretty fine job. Thank you.
All right. Action items. A,
Oh,
review
yeah.
and consider a motion to approve district-wide emergency school closure for December 17th, 18th, and 19th of 2025 due to power outage.
So moved.
Second.
A motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Mm-hmm.
Review and consider a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Can't get that fast enough.
Tie.
We got a motion and a near tie. For second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thanks, Ellen. Yeah. Welcome.
What was this school bus thing?
Yeah.
I heard somebody talk about